Prompts helped millions of people start using AI. But prompts are not where serious AI work ends. For a long time, the skill was simple. Know what to type into a chatbot. Open ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or another AI tool. Ask a question, get an answer, copy it into a document, edit it. Ask again when it misses the mark. That still works. But it starts to break down when the work gets bigger, because a real project is rarely one question and one answer. A YouTube video is not just a script. It is topic research, audience research, angle selection, source checking, outlining, writing, editing, packaging, publishing, and review. SEO is not just finding keywords. It is understanding search intent, studying competitors, structuring content, checking authority signals, adding internal links, answering user questions, updating old pages, and now thinking about AI search visibility. Marketing is not just writing a caption or an email. It is positioning, audience understanding, offers, sequences, landing pages, testing, and performance review. That is why the real shift is not from bad prompts to better prompts. It is from prompts to workflows. A prompt is a single instruction. A workflow is the process around it, and the people getting the most practical value from AI are not the ones with the cleverest prompt formulas. They are the ones who know how to design the system. They know what AI should research first. They know what it should compare. They know where sources need to be checked. They know when a draft needs to be rewritten. And they know where a human still has to make the final decision. That is the rise of AI workflows. This matters now because AI tools are no longer just blank text boxes waiting for instructions. They are becoming research assistants, writing partners, automation layers, and task coordinators. Some tools are moving toward agent-style work, where AI can use tools, browse information, take steps, and complete multi-step tasks with guidance. Others are becoming more useful for longer research workflows, cited search, document analysis, and structured business processes. But the important part is not only that the models are getting smarter. The bigger shift is that the steps of work are starting to connect. In the old way, the process was scattered. A creator might search Google for a topic, open 10 tabs, copy notes into a document, ask ChatGPT for an outline, check something in Perplexity, rewrite in Claude, update a spreadsheet, and then manually build the final script. A marketer might collect customer feedback in one place, study competitors somewhere else, write email drafts in another tool, and track campaign ideas in a separate board. A freelancer might repeat the same research and drafting process for every client, but still rebuild it from scratch each time. That approach can work, but it is slow. It depends heavily on memory, it is easy to skip steps, and it is hard to repeat at the same quality every week. AI workflows change the question. Instead of asking, "Can AI write this for me?" the better question becomes, what steps are required to produce good work, and where can AI help? That is a much more useful way to think. A weak prompt says, "Write me a blog post about AI SEO." A stronger workflow says, "Research current search intent around AI SEO, compare competing pages, identify what they cover, what they miss, and what users are asking. Build an outline for a specific audience. Draft the article, add a fact-checking pass. Rewrite for clarity, create metadata, suggest internal links. Then produce a publishing checklist." The final output may still be a blog post, but the system behind it is different. AI is no longer only generating text at the end. It is helping with research, structure, comparison, transformation, and quality control throughout the process. A useful AI workflow starts with an input. That input could be a topic, a keyword, a transcript, a competitor page, a customer question, a spreadsheet, a meeting note, a product idea, or a business goal. Then comes the process. This is the order of work: research before writing, structure before editing, verification before publishing, and human approval before any important action. Then come the tools. One tool may help with broad reasoning. Another may be stronger for long-form drafting. Another may help with cited search. Another may fit better inside documents, spreadsheets, email, calendars, or automation systems. And then comes the part many people underestimate: human judgment. That part does not disappear. In many cases, it becomes more important. The human decides the strategy, the audience, the angle, the quality standard, the risks, and the final approval. AI can speed up repetitive work. It can organize messy information. It can create first drafts. It can compare sources. It can help turn one asset into several formats. But it still needs direction. Most people miss this. The real value is not the tool itself. It is the system behind it. Take AI SEO research. In the old way, you might start with keyword tools, Google searches, competitor tabs, manual notes, and a content brief. That can be effective, but it takes time, and the quality depends on how carefully the process is done. An AI workflow can speed up the early research stage. It can summarize search intent patterns, compare competing pages, group user questions, identify common subtopics, and help create a content brief. But the realistic result is not automatic ranking. That would be hype. The realistic result is a faster first version of strategic thinking. A human still needs to check the actual search results, verify sources, inspect competitors, decide the angle, and make sure the content is genuinely useful. The same pattern applies to YouTube research. The old process is often messy. You look at competing videos, audience comments, search demand, recent trends, and your own channel positioning. Then you try to turn all of that into a strong angle and a script that can hold attention. An AI workflow can organize that process. It can help identify the viewer's pain point, compare possible angles, build a retention structure, draft a hook, and shape the script around a clear channel identity. But AI does not replace taste. It can give you 10 hooks. It cannot fully know which hook fits your audience, your voice, your channel history, and your long-term positioning unless you give it that context and review the output carefully. Content repurposing is another practical example. In the old way, you take one long video or article and manually turn it into social posts, newsletters, short-form scripts, blog summaries, and community updates. An AI workflow can take one source asset and transform it into several formats. That can save time, but there is a risk. If the workflow only reshapes the same message without adapting it to each platform, the content feels generic. A LinkedIn post is not a YouTube intro. A newsletter is not a short-form video script. A strong workflow changes the message for the medium, not just the length. Competitor research also fits this shift. The old way means hours of browsing, websites, offers, pricing pages, content libraries, reviews, positioning, and messaging. AI can help summarize and compare that information. It can surface repeated claims, possible gaps, and patterns in how competitors present themselves. But this is exactly where accuracy matters. AI can miss context. It can overgeneralize. It can summarize outdated pages. It can mistake marketing language for proof. So the workflow still needs direct source checks. For freelancers and small business owners, the opportunity is very practical. A freelancer could build a repeatable system that turns a client intake form into a research brief, then an outline, then a draft, then a review checklist. A small agency could use AI to summarize meeting notes, triage client requests, prepare first draft deliverables, and update project tasks. An online business owner could use AI to analyze customer feedback, group objections, and turn those objections into better facts, emails, or product messaging. The realistic benefit is not a business that runs itself. The realistic benefit is less repetitive work, faster organization, and better decision support, and that is still valuable. Compared with manual workflows, AI workflows are usually faster at collecting, summarizing, transforming, and structuring information. They are useful when the work follows repeated patterns, research briefs, content outlines, email drafts, competitor summaries, meeting notes, content updates, and repurposing systems. But manual work is still stronger when the task requires deep taste, original reporting, emotional intelligence, negotiation, sensitive judgment, or responsibility for high-stakes decisions. Compared with Google search, AI workflows can reduce the distance between finding information and producing a useful output. Google gives you links. AI research tools can help summarize, compare, and structure information, but Google still matters because original sources still matter. Search results show the real environment, who ranks, what formats appear, what users see, and which sources deserve trust. Compared with using ChatGPT as a simple chatbot, workflows create consistency. A single prompt can produce a good answer once. A workflow can help produce a repeatable process every week. That matters for creators, marketers, and freelancers because their work is recurring. They do not need one good output. They need a system that can keep producing useful outputs without starting from zero every time. Compared with using Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, or any single tool by itself, the workflow approach is more flexible. The question is not, which tool wins? The better question is, what role does this tool play inside the process? One tool may be better for drafting. Another may be better for source discovery. Another may be better for long documents. Another may be useful inside a broader productivity ecosystem. The workflow decides how the tools fit together. But before you build one, there is a serious limitation. AI workflows do not automatically create good judgment. They amplify the process you give them. If the process is shallow, AI makes shallow work faster. If the research standard is weak, AI can produce confident but unreliable summaries. If the content strategy is generic, AI can generate more generic content than you could ever publish. That is the danger of over-automation. People see agents and workflow builders, and they assume the goal is to remove the human. But in serious work, the better goal is to remove unnecessary repetition while keeping human judgment where it matters. There are accuracy risks too. AI can misunderstand sources. It can miss dates. It can blend old and new information. It can sound certain when the evidence is weak. That is especially risky in SEO, finance, health, legal, technical, and business strategy content. There are privacy concerns as well. If a workflow uses customer data, business documents, emails, or internal strategy, you need to understand how that information is handled and whether the tool is appropriate for sensitive work. And there is a quality problem. When everyone uses the same tools with the same generic prompts, the internet gets filled with the same average content. The winners will not be the people who automate the most. The winners will be the people who design better workflows, use better inputs, apply stronger judgment, and create outputs that are actually useful. The rise of AI workflows is not really about abandoning prompts. It is about putting prompts inside systems. For creators, that means AI should not just help you write faster. It should help you research better, structure ideas more clearly, and build a repeatable publishing process. For marketers, it means AI should not just generate copy. It should connect customer insight, positioning, content, testing, and review. For SEO professionals, it means the future is not just keyword lists. It is workflow design around search intent, content quality, source credibility, AI search visibility, and continuous updates. For freelancers, it means the value may shift. Basic first drafts may become easier to produce, but clients may still need people who understand strategy, verify information, build reliable systems, and deliver polished work. For automation builders, it means the opportunity is not just connecting apps. It is designing decision points, review steps, fallback rules, and quality control. The practical next step is simple. Take one task you repeat every week. Not your whole business, just one task. Map the steps from start to finish. Then ask where AI can help with research, structure, drafting, summarizing, checking, or formatting. Keep a human review step. Test the result. Then improve the process. That is how you move beyond prompts. Not by chasing every new tool, not by trusting every agent demo, but by building systems that turn AI from a clever assistant into a repeatable part of how real work gets done.